And I am live. As I said previously, I'd be returning for possibly an art stream. Figured I'd work on my webcomic a little bit, this little behind the scenes stuff for some of the future pages. They're not even caught up to like the meeting of these little characters here. But since I don't have much going on with like Patreon stuff where I can like private stream this stuff, I figured like a little preview wouldn't hurt for like a while. I've done quite a bit already, just a couple panels here and there, fixing some introductions and that kind of thing. Got some characters that, of course, haven't been shown to the public yet. Von Wolfgang and Benjamin, no Dolly, and then Iroas. Some of these characters are based off of a few of my friends, like player characters from a previous game of ours. And I'm bringing them into my comic because like they have like a good history, they have a good story, and they would fit in my setting pretty well. And that's kind of the whole point of like Mage Hunters as this homage to our game with our wizards and the interactions between like certain characters. I just hope that yeah. I just hope that my friends like it and people like it as well. So anyways, I'm working on panels here. We got this safari hat wearing old man Benjamin talking to the ever introverted but tactically smart Von Wolfgang. And there's a bit of history between the two. Not currently in the comic, but they cross paths, per se. And I'll leave it at that. I just don't know it. No, I'll leave it at that. So, anyways, let's see. Make sure I don't cross it over. Oops. Clear. That's not good. Not good at all. Sadly, no music today. I still don't know what type of like music I can like listen to while I draw. I did want to like set up something where I can listen to music and stuff on my end while everyone else can like hear my voice and such, but I could just do it another time. Simple. And just leave it at that. Anyways. Oops. That's not on. I did just return from a hiatus on this comic. Mostly because my tablet ended up well, the battery went bad. I tried to replace it, and that didn't help. So I ended up having to buy a drawing screen. So it's a bit different. I had to relearn everything. I had to put everything back together, and even then, I just figured it's been a while since I drew this comic. I might as well switch to a more traditional comic book appeal rather than appealing to webtoons structure. And it means I could also like share my comic elsewhere, like on Twitter and Blue Sky. gonna see if I can stream more tomorrow. Although I'm not sure if I want to make it a gaming stream or a drawing stream. I definitely need to treat my art more seriously. I do find myself slacking off quite a bit and just not in the mood to draw. I also need to work on my art passions like writing as well. There's been a few story ideas I want to work on, but I always like get a couple pages down and just like don't feel like writing anymore and don't return the story for a while, which is usually how it goes with like other passions like my art too. I try to keep focus and like not get bogged down in work, but what can you expect sometimes, you know? I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So, anyways, got the framework done. Get rid of the sketch. Mind you, this is the stuff I done over here. It's not the final look. I still have to ink it. So there's a lot of just structural changes, a lot of sketching. But once I get to the inking and the drawing, it or the coloring, it speeds up a bit. Kind of like the texture I've been leaving a lot of my artwork. You can kind of see it with my stream setup. I got my characters in the background, have that comic book appeal. Something I recently started doing after looking at a few other people's artworks and realizing I have like textures like this I could use to make it look a little bit better, a little more old fashioned, a little more appealing. And I think this is gonna be like the first real page that it kind of shows off a bit. I'm not too sure what to do with the background as much since it's always so complicated doing like background stuff. Do I want to put a lot of detail in it? Do I want to show do something else, or what works out for the scene? No. like to work on more shorts as well. Definitely a few like funny clips. Be nice to turn into shorts. I just don't know how to use the animation software for clips to paint as much. I definitely need to work on it a bit more. Some like funny stuff, some more, I don't know what the right word would be. Not raunchy, but definitely adult orientated. Cruel language, that kind of thing. A lot of my stuff is for like kids. It's kind of why I like stuff like Twitter and like Blue Sky and everything. I just like like I don't want to deal with kids interacting in my spaces and such, since they have no reason to be there in the first place. My comic is mature. My work is mature. My comic deals with drugs and like various other things, and it's not something that an adolescent should see. Although I know it's only been a couple pages, it's stuff I think about and like want to add in over time. Mature themes and such. It's just how things are. But yeah. There's always a big issue when it comes to Wolfgang. He has very spiky hair, and it's a big issue to draw out every time. However, I worked with a similar character, Gene Valentine, for roughly 2 or 3 years when I was making Vampire. And yet, sorry, my headset. And yeah, and what was I gonna say? Oh, and he has like similar hairstyle, maybe more, and Wolfgang's a bit more pointed. It goes into a swirl, like I won't say Jimmy Neutron, but kind of like that. So it's all spikes that go into a certain direction versus like going down a certain way. Actually, I think about it. I rose this hair over here, this guy. For those listening and watch me draw, is more like Gene Valentine's is and like Wolfgang's haircut is. Because it has still more of that swept back hair. And then I add like different curls to make it more messy. Because Iros is why am I saying Iros? This is Iros. Iros is this guy. This is Owen. Owen is this guy right here. I got the two of them confused since there's some things between them that I'm only scratching the surface of so far. But Owen here, he's assistant to Benjamin, the Safari Hat guy. And Owen's haircut is definitely like more Gene Valentine esque. Way it's swept back and it has like the curls and various other things. And I say Wolfgang is like another character I've done that has like more distinct hair and how it's like swept back in a way, but it's pointed out into a kind of a swirl, kind of a Guy Fieri haircut, kind of a, I don't know how you call it, cartoony, electrified haircut style. Something a mad scientist would have. Sorry. I probably could just take my headset off for a while. Might as well if I'm not listening to music and figure I'll just chill out. That. Sorry for the noise. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm rambling. It's gonna be tricky doing the haircut on the side. Side profu is always a pain in the ass. Let me tell you. Yeah, that's real strange on the side. Stuff you have to work on. I honestly should make side shots of every character, like an actual character sheet, but I don't have a lot of patience for that kind of stuff. And speaking of like character stuff, I do want to go back on Gigi's design. If you read my comic, then she's the young goblin I kind of introduced the story with for a little bit. Her idea or her character arc is going from being a half goblin from the capital of Farouk and adapting to the much more grim, much more dirty, much more industrial city of Hagsborough. And her design's going to change to fit that a bit more. Just have to. Because I didn't put any hits in it, but she actually has like dyed hair, and of course her purple clothes is more a reference to the fact that royalty and like nobles and such could only afford like dye colors like purple and such back in the medieval ages and various other things. And it's going to reflect in her character design a bit, so she won't be wearing that purple shirt anymore. She'll be wearing more worker outfit to fit into like position with her boss and that kind of thing. Let's see. Got a curl here. And a curl here. And should have pressed. I haven't really done a side shot of Wolfgang in a while, so I'm trying to remember what the rest of his hairs look like. Always a pain. You always need to do a side profile. You need to do a character sheet. You need to do a lot of things. Yeah, I'll go with that. It's supposed to be like a pseudo Guy Fieri-esque haircut. Maybe like a pineapple, but spiky. Spiky, yeah. That's right for it. And switch this out a bit more. I'll work on it when I do the real final linking and get this all carefully drawn out. I do kind of like the thing when it comes to Benjamin now. I kind of made him like the soldier in the fact that you can't see his eyes underneath his Ari hat. I think that's just an interesting idea for a mysterious character like him. I know that's going on to like the pact is spoiler territory. But once I get an action scene with like all these other different characters or start showing off their powers, it's going to be pretty interesting, I'd say. Because they came from a game I played previously, and I know their inner workings, at least from what I remember. It's been a good couple of years since then. So all the ideas are a bit fuzzy. I just know Benjamin's the best. Because he did sign during the final scene of the story. Let me get this on a separate plane. It's drawing on the same one. Means I'll set up, get rid of this. With this. Do feel like I put a lot of effort into like each panel, and I really shouldn't. I know the phrase is less is more. I don't need a panel of them sounding staring at each other, but honestly, I don't feel like it's right without it. That's kind of why I am. That's kind of why I just want to like. It's a preview. What was I saying? Um, which is why like I put effort into some of these panels where like nothing's really happening. The characters are just staring at each other, or there's a lot of panels here, which I could stretch out if I had like more time, work on dialogue and such, or gave myself more time. I feel like if I gave myself enough or too much time, I'd just be lazy about it, which I kind of have been. Seasonal depression has been dealing with like or giving me some mental issues, I guess. Nothing drastic, just thoughts. Thoughts and procrastination. Even though the right term is to the right mindset you should be in is to not hesitate, because if you hesitate, you already wasted time. That's why I'm kind of working on like something on the side, something's right here, because I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'm like 26, going to be 27 soon, and I already wasted like a decent chunk of my life not doing the things I want to do. And there's things I really want to do. I want to draw comics for a living. I want to turn a lot of my internal lore into like books and such. I want to do so much, but I only have so much time. I know Tolkien usually talked about when it comes to like this kind of stuff, but he started Lord of the Rings when he was in his 40s. And it's pretty inspirational for a lot of people like myself that ache on about time and such. You got to kind of take a step back as well when you think about it, because some of the greater authors they worked on the craft for long, or they didn't start working on their magnum opus, or they didn't start learning this craft until they were like in a older age, a wiser age. So I want to like harp on about like wasting time. It's also important to not stress out about it as well. Because if I stress out on about it, that's just me wasting more time worrying about it, more time hesitating. But it's just more time rambling because I want to let my thoughts out more and express some type of personality. Sure, none of you care. I think I gained a lot of knowledge on making button-up shirts like this after like essentially drawing guy wearing a suit the last 3 years, or 2, 3 years, whatever. Actually, many guys with suits because I like take a lot of inspirations from like the 1920s, and that's very like button shirt, button shirt, suit and tie kind of stuff. So a lot of the characters I make and design, even in this comic, have that same uh, classic or old-fashioned style, at least from what can be gleaned. But anyways. Part of the reason why I started making a fantasy comic is because when it comes to like drawing my vampires and such, they still had a very human shape. So it felt like I was making the same character just in different hats, different clothes. While in like stuff what I'm doing right now, I can give a character a bigger nose, I can outstretch the proportions, I can make them different per se. I could turn him into an orc, I could turn him into somewhat of a dwarf. And what was it? What was his name? Morg? Morg from like the first little story I did for this comic. He's kind of the kind of character I wanted to test on because I wanted to make like an old adventurer that retired and gained weight during his age and during his retirement and settling down as a sword maker of sorts. So he had the strong arms, but he had the beer gut and stumpy little legs and an overall much more unkempt and cartoonish appearance. And with Benjamin, that's kind of the thing I wanted to do too as well, because Benjamin's a very thin character, and I wanted to have his nose be like a standing out feature, and then like various other things like the fact that you don't see his eyes sometimes, and then like various other bits. Honestly, it feels like what I'm drawing Benjamin right here. I'm drawing like Ringo Starr from Yellow Submarine. Kind of how Ringo has a similar nose like shape like that on his side profile. And then he has a smaller stature compared to some people in the cartoon. I need to watch that movie again because it's one of my favorites. I grew up watching that. And I really should let the more cartoonish drawings inspire me a bit more. Shapes, the poses, that kind of thing. So I did do a homage to it, like for high school drawing. I had to find the drawing, but basically it was like the cast from that movie, the Beatles standing in JoJo poses over the submarine ship. Oh, it was so funny. I'm done with that panel. I wasted too much time talking about it instead of actually doing anything. So yeah, they stare at each other, and it's another big shout out Wolfgang, but this time he's looking towards Dolly again, and then an approaching guardsman named Sally. You'll, I think the public will be seeing her if I don't use her as a reference right now, or start drawing her here in like 4 weeks' time, because I have an art page to post on Tuesday, and then it's 2 weeks, and then it's an art page. Like I said, I wish I can post like weekly, but then I'd just be killing myself. And I'd like to draw more loud and show off more of my story. I have to watch out for mental health, watch out for how I treat myself, and also treat my work. Because if I rush my work, then it's not going to look as good. Like the first two panels right before the stream started, that took me quite a bit of time because I wanted to get just right. I wanted Owen to be keeping the special box away from Dolly, and wanted to show off like first it wasn't going to be Iros, it was going to be Wolfgang watching the kids. Then Ben approaches, but I decided that I needed Iros as the perspective character to be hanging out with the other kids. You know, like Owen, he's like 19, 20, while Dolly is like 12 and Iros is 17. So, but they're kind of referred to as a kid because like Wolfgang, he's in his 30s, while Benjamin, it's unsure what his age is. He looks older, maybe in his 60s, but who knows him. But anyways, I kind of want to take this guy and just move him down here and shift his eyes around because I think it's like very fitting, and also like it would save a lot of time. So I'm actually going to do that. It's not going to take a lot. It's better than just starting blankly, and I can still edit the photo. So it doesn't look like I just copy and paste it fully. I also worked on it. So I'll do this, and then I'll go down here, copy paste. Move down here. And then he's in the foreground, so he'd be bigger. I'll keep him right there. Sides. Let's see here. Still need the perspective. Let's see here. I need a fatter tip. That's something I shouldn't say on stream. You know, it's meant for my paintbrush. That's a different stream. Different kind of stream. I can only sit on. There's that. Simple as. In his eyes. I separate these, but I see the hair. I kind of could. Here. I can look at best with the hair in the way, but what you do, honestly. Just going to be drawing over the same image when I do the inking. And I'll look more professional that way. More crisp. So there's that. And now I'll move to the side. Because while he's in the foreground, he is not the main focus. The main focus is the characters behind him. I think that's pretty good. Let me see the dialog box. Yeah, that works out pretty well, I'd say. I'll be right back. Need to get more water. All right, I'm back. Settling in right now. I hate working at a factory. While I'm not there anymore, it definitely has done some bad stuff to my back. Oh man. What I really need is like a standing desk. And that would be nice. I'm not just sitting down at a computer all the time. But anyways, enough about me. Let's get back to drawing. It'd be interesting drawing out Dolly and Sally in like this little background area. Because they're both short characters. Sally's a dwarf, while Dolly is human, I'd say. Just young. I say Sally is a bit taller. Because she's a mature dwarf with a beard. So, let's draw Dolly. Hands her hips, just mad. At Owen. There's no reason why I started working on this comic and didn't want to work on vampires much. Because I'm drawing characters with smaller portions too. That's why I want to make the first character I make a goblin, and of course the shopkeeper. He's basically a human equivalent of a dwarf. Has human genetics, but in the height of a human, but definitely full dwarf pill. And then I'm able to work on characters like both Sally and Dolly that have like smaller portions. One's more childlike, while the other's more, what's the right word? Brawny. Brawny would be a good one. No, smaller since Wolfgang is paying attention to the conversation in the background. Right, the shore feet. Our feet. By area and gravity, or gravity perspective. And smaller. It's way far. I don't know if I'll show if I gross or not. I think her and Sally's good enough, honestly. Because he's gonna listen to a conversation and they're just gonna zoom in. We'll leave with that. Ooh, been streaming for almost an hour and haven't done much. It's gonna be nice once I get like a decent following, I think. I wasted too much time like basically doing nothing in the void. So having like a little audience I can talk to, which is nice. It's nice that my friends, they showed their support earlier during my web fishing game and gameplay. So once I settle in with like streaming and then get some people like bounce off of, I should be fine. And let's try to be entertaining. I'm not the most show abhorrent kind of person. I have fun, but I definitely am an introvert by nature. That's why Wolfgang was my character in the what was it, the Visible Sun game we did. He was supposed to be just a silent giant kind of character, but he ended up becoming a father figure. Which I liked about his character arc and his inner workings. But anyways, then I have her for reference. Just gonna put Sally. Somewhere here. More runner. Shoulders. More muscular physique. This is gonna have her arm pressed. Let's leave it at that. I'm making the same expression as Dolly. Do you worry sometimes about, making sure the drawings aren't stale? But always have room for improvement. If you think you're a master of your art style, you're not. Because you're always going to improve your work, regardless of how you feel. And if there's a stagnation in your work, and you're not really improving as much, then there's something wrong. I definitely have seen like a bunch of like artists that had the same style for the last couple of years, maybe even longer, and they didn't really evolve as much. I think a lot of it is because like some people they rely too much on fixing their lines and like maybe copying over their own work or retracing their own work just to keep like a consistent style. But I could be wrong. Maybe having her approach. She's walking. Actually, yeah, she'll be walking towards her. Why am I making her stand already? I could see the model, but oh well. I think one of the things I want to do when I get back to like gaming streaming more is possibly replaying Inscription. I know that game's a bit more involved because it has like an ARG element to it and there's other games. But I think playing the roguelike version where you're just like playing in Leishi's cabin and just playing Inscription, the card game, like that'd be pretty fun. That's something I want to work on. It'll be easy working with Sally first. She's half exposed. People hats is interesting. Got better at it over the years. You know, I don't draw many people with hats. And having characters like Sally around, both a immaculate beard and a very nice looking hat, kind of help keep that skill sharp. And talk about Sally, giving her a name and such. She is another friend character. The same friend that played as Iros played her in a future game that we just finished. So she has her own little story as well, and part of the reason why I did start like this comic was to like expand like on different viewpoints, different storylines, and how they kind of come together as like a story about a city less than like a certain group of people. How I want to have stories where you follow one side of conflict, and then you go to the next chapter, and it's like the other side of the conflict, and there are different viewpoints on things, why they do it, who's who's wrong, who's right, why does it not matter, why does it matter? Because perspective is an interesting thing. One person could be the antagonist to another person's story, while they could also be their own protagonist. And like for stuff, it's just gone to a point I like do want to work on stories and off-world stuff. I just need to put in the time to actually write something for once, not like follow my own words because I can't probably justicate like a story or something. I think before I start working on like an actual text document and like work on like a book or something, I am gonna have to like read other novels and get a good idea of how things are done. Thankfully, I have been like reading like some good stuff lately. I've read some works of Neil Gaiman. I work and some authors I haven't heard from before, but had like very high class writing. For example, like, when it came to Neil Gaiman, I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Yeah, you can see why he was able to write stuff like Caroline and like various other things because horror from a kid's perspective is an interesting thing. And then like other books I read what was it? As the Salt Grows Heavy, which is like a dark fantasy novel, very dramatic, very open, like when it comes to using large words and stuff that you don't normally hear about. It's a very I don't want to say confusing, because that implies like I didn't get through it all the way, but it definitely was like a slog because I had to like think about what I just read and contextualize it and try to figure out what the words were and various other things. It was a short book, but a very long one to read. And right now I'm reading uh it's a detective novel. I have to look at it again. But it's like uh deconstruction almost of a detective novel, like that kind of genre, along with like some things that make it feel more like that noir kind of like 50s setting, along with like some more modern stuff. I would say modern, but it's like, yeah, it's hard to explain. I'll probably remember it in a couple minutes. I still have to finish it, but I'm starting to get through it again. I have a problem with like picking up a book, reading it, and then dropping it for a week and then reading it again, and to remember what's going on and such. That was a thing that happened with As the Soul Grows Heavy. So goofy. Not sure if I wanted to. Yeah, I'm not too sure what I want to do tomorrow. I probably will have to do some chores, so I probably won't be doing much streaming. And I got the new mic and everything. I want to use it more often, just to justify like buying it and everything. Make sure it gets used. I know I could use it for other things. I want to do lore sheets, very similar to like some other artists, other fantasy artists have like very detailed unique settings. And there's definitely topics I want to get into. It's just like right time situation. And then the whole recording process. Pretty obvious I'm not that confident in my own voice. And I try to make it sound better. That sucks. And I just realized I made a mistake on one of my previous pages when I was looking for reference. Huh. That's not good. I can't fix that at that point. I'm gonna have to live with that and try to get that out of my mind. It's not good to find out you just made a mistake like that. But hey, things happen. It's best to make mistakes now than later. And it's a good thing I caught it. It's not fun. Not fun at all. I was looking at it, I was like, something's not right here. This is a chess piece, and for some reason the way I'm looking at the drawing, it doesn't look like it. It looks more like a tunic. I'm like, wait a second, coloring is wrong compared to this panel and that panel. And that's when I spotted it. It was like, fuck. It's not for later. No, she's set. I have to work on Dolly. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I change her pose to a more cross-armed one because she's supposed to be pouting. It's a drawing of her. We'll see. Yeah, I feel it. If they curled into herself, that kind of style. Leaning over a bit, hugging herself. My style of feed, but it's a sketch. I'm not trying to go for like accurate. She's gonna get drawn over. Anyways. I'm just kind of tired. It looks so weird from like zoomed out. Very derpy. A little bit better once I ink it all. I'll try to finish this panel and leave it at that for right now. I'll probably pick it up on my own time. I think sharing some of my like drawing process and doing some stuff on stream, and then also having like time to like zone out, listen to music, and do it on my own would be a better option for myself. Instead of doing all one way and then all the other way. For example, I think like streaming's fine when it comes to like solo artworks. I want to make more stuff for like art shows and like merch later on. So I'll do a quick drawing of little Sally and Dolly right next to each other talking. I'll change the dialogue a little bit, but it's still the same effect. Uh, yeah, this actually might be a good time to end it. I'll see about streaming another time. I'm gonna work on this in the background and get a few things done. It's kind of like a couple more hours for I need to lay down and everything. Who knows? Who knows? Hope everyone has a good day. I'm gonna do this my Sunday for to go back to being a worker again. All right. See you.